Google Sheets, working with functions. A function is a predefined formula that performs calculations using specific values in a particular order. Google Sheets includes many common functions that can be used to quickly find the sum, average, count, maximum value, minimum value for a range of cells. In order to use functions correctly, you'll need to understand the different parts of a function and how to create arguments to calculate values and cell references. So after you have reviewed the slides presentation and looked through all of the different parts here, you will need to go down to the what you will do section. In this section, it tells you the steps that you need to take in order to complete this assignment. We're going to make a copy of the file that is below here. So I'm going to click on File and make a copy. I'm going to click OK. Wait for this to load. And when I do, I'm going to first make sure that I can rename my file. I'm going to move it to my DAR folder. As soon as it allows me to do that, it appears that it's still working. Like I said, I'll move it to my DAR folder. And now when you first open up this document, this is the view that you should see. There in the first part of this document, there's nothing that you need to do. This is purely for reference in order to complete the questions that begin on line 21. Line 21 says use a function to find the average monthly cost of the utilities for Bravo apartment. So we're trying to find the average monthly cost. In order to complete this, there are a few function tools that you could use in order to determine the average monthly cost. In the directions, it gives you the Google Sheets functions list. So I'm going to click on the functions list. And it takes me to a website that has all of the functions that I will need to have. So I'm going to type in here average. And then I'll scroll down to find the average. So average is the value 1, comma value 2. This is what they call syntax. Syntax is the actual description of the formula that or the function that we're using. And the argument is anything that is contained within inside of the parentheses. What this does, as you can see here on the far right column, is returns the numerical average value at a data set, ignoring text. So what I will do is go back to my sheets, and I'm going to find the average monthly cost of the utilities for Bravo apartment. So again, scrolling back up to my data set, my utilities for Bravo apartment here in the second part is water, gas, and electricity. Water is $30, gas is $75, and electricity is $125. So in order for me to complete this formula, I'm going to type equals average, and the three parts that I want to include are here, put a comma here, and press enter. And it gives me $76.67. Great. Part 2 says use a function to find the total monthly cost of the utilities for Bravo apartment. So I'm just going to use one of two. It could be either the sum or the add. Either one will get you the same answer. I'm going to use equals sum, my parenthesis, and I know it is cells D9 through D11. So I'm going to use D9 through with the colon D11. And with my parenthesis, press enter, and I find my total monthly cost for my utilities for the Bravo apartment is $230. Question 3 says use a function to determine the total cost of leasing Bravo apartment for 1 month. So the total cost of leasing is the cost of the lease plus the total cost of the utilities. So the lease plus the utilities. So $582 as we found in cell C8, and the utilities that we found in cell E24. So I'm going to use equals sum C8 plus E24, close my parenthesis, and I find that the total cost of leasing Bravo apartment for 1 month is $812. And then question 4 says use a function to determine the most expensive apartment according to the total lease amount. The function we're going to use for this is equals max, the parenthesis, and there's 3 cells that I'm going to select from are C9, so I'll click here, separate it by a comma. The next is C4, C8, comma, and C14. Close it with a parenthesis and press enter, and I find that the most expensive apartment is $900. And then question 5, use a formula to determine the total annual cost of the apartment you would prefer to rent. There are 3 apartments that you could choose from. First is the Alpha apartment, second is the Bravo apartment, and third is the Charlie apartment. And you would need to determine the total amount of lease plus the utilities to figure out what the annual cost is. Please remember that annual cost considers 12 months of renting. So the formula that I'll be using here is equals 12 because 12 months, using my asterisk. And then if I were to choose the Bravo apartment, I found that the lease plus the utilities is $812. So I'm going to use cell E26. E26. Press enter. And then the total cost of renting the Bravo apartment per year is $9,744.00 per year. Once you have answered questions 1 through 5, make sure that you click that share button. Change your link to MSD Warren Township and copy that link so that you can submit the URL in Canvas.